From the second module of self-awareness and self-realization to the third module of intimate relationships, we gradually move from the individual to the group. Starting from this lecture, we will enter the fourth module, which is about the relationship between individuals and society. I have divided this module into 3 parts. Firstly, I will analyze why society is the ultimate psychological destination, which is one of the 4 axioms I mentioned at the beginning of this course, and how we can maintain independence in the face of society's enormous influence. Secondly, I will explore the topic of social hierarchy and teach you how to break through the rigid social structure. Thirdly, I will help you find your own value and belonging in the evolution of society and civilization. However, by glimpsing a corner of it, I hope to show you the breadth of psychology. To truly understand human behavior and motivation, psychology must intersect deeply with multiple disciplines such as sociology, ethics, philosophy, anthropology, linguistics, and religious studies. This is both the reason why psychology is challenging to study and its remarkable aspect. Today, we will start with social norms and understand human social attributes. Social norms, guidelines for civilized behavior. In daily life, you may notice some interesting phenomena. In an elevator, everyone stands facing the elevator door and remains quiet. Even if you and your friend were chatting excitedly while waiting for the elevator, once you step inside, you both stop talking and stand facing the elevator door. Of course, if there are only 2 of you in the elevator, you may continue your conversation and even face each other, but not with one facing the elevator door and the other with their back to it. There are many similar patterns of behavior in society, such as giving up your seat to the elderly, disabled, or pregnant on public transportation, sending greetings back to those who send you holiday wishes on WeChat, and stopping at a red light on an empty road. Why? At the individual level, these behaviors are polite and civilized. At the social level, these behaviors follow social norms. Social norms refer to the behavior standards that are widely accepted and recognized by all members of a culture. In many cases, social norms are implicit rather than explicit. We learn social norms mainly in 2 ways. By imitating others' behavior and doing exactly the same thing. This is called conformity in psychology. By following the instructions of authority figures to perform corresponding behaviors. This is called obedience. In most social situations, some people do have more authority than others. They have the right to tell others how to behave in accordance with the norms. For example, if I am a teacher, I have the authority to tell my students to sit down and be quiet during class. I have the authority to require that if a student wants to speak, they must raise their hand and wait for my permission before speaking. However, my authority is limited to the classroom. When I go to a movie theater to watch a movie, I am no longer an authority figure. The ticket inspector at the entrance becomes the authority figure. The authority should be limited to the context. However, if we extend conformity and obedience to all social situations, the result will be disastrous. On May 23, 1960, the Israeli Prime Minister announced that Nazi war criminal Adolf Eichmann had been arrested in Argentina and would be transferred to an Israeli court for trial. Eichmann executed the order to transport 6 million Jews to concentration camps and carried out large-scale massacres. During the trial, the public saw Eichmann as a calm, dignified, and civilized ordinary person. He was even cowardly and nauseous when inspecting the concentration camps and seeing blood and corpses. Eichmann claimed in court that his entire life followed Kant's moral law, and all his actions were based on Kant's definition of responsibility. He emphasized repeatedly that he was just a cog in the system, just playing a driving role. He said, "I am a soldier, just obeying and executing the orders of my superiors." Eichmann's answer shocked everyone at the trial. People expected an extremely evil, heinous, and demonic killer. But what they saw in Eichmann was an ordinary person who did not have a firm Nazi belief or an evil motive to exterminate Jews. Why did such an ordinary person commit such evil acts? One possible explanation is coercion by the authoritarian government. However, contrary to this view, during World War II, the vast majority of concentration camp guards volunteered rather than being coerced into participating in the massacre of Jews. Another possible explanation is the stupidity of the masses. However, Eichmann claimed that he was well versed in Kant's Critique of Practical Reason, and many Nazi generals were well-read and even able to play Beethoven's sonatas. Therefore, the reason of stupidity does not hold. Since Eichmann's evil did not come from coercion by the higher-ups or his own ignorance or abnormal psychology, what drove him to become an executioner who killed millions of Jews?